Welcome. Teacher's Introduction. My name is Devabrata Mallik, Assistant Professor, Department of Arts and Crafts, Borishal Cadet College. Lesson Introduction. Class 7, Subject Arts and Crafts, Chapter 2, Lesson 5 and 6. Date of 8th of July 2020. Hello, my dear cadets. Very good morning and have a good day. Hope you all are getting on well with your dear and near ones. Dear boys, you know, Corona crisis is now on rise. Under such predicament, you should keep yourself aloof from meeting with outer world. Please make yourself confined within the walls of your own residence. I would frequently like to ask you to follow the Karina discipline, and that is how you can certainly ensure you're safe and sound, dwelling free from corona. Let's now we go our lesson. Now is topic fine arts and crafts is the language of all people of all ages. Learning outcomes. At the end of this class, you will be able to explain about world famous artist and sculptor Michelangelo's life and his artworks. Explain about world famous artist Raphael Sancho de Urbanus' life and his artworks. Here is two picture of world famous artist. Firstly, Michelangelo. My left side is Michelangelo, world famous sculptor. His world famous sculptor is here. My left side. It's Moses. Its title name is Moses. It's a one kind of sculpture, very famous sculpture. My right side is Raphael. It's, it's also a famous painting, Madonna. Okay, my dear. Chapter 2, lesson number 5 and 6. Firstly, Michelangelo, 1475 to 1564 BC. Michelangelo was born on 6th of March in 1475 BC in a small town called Castle Caprese. near Florence in Italy. Michelangelo was considered the greatest living artist in his lifetime, and since then he has been held to be one of the greatest artists of all time. Realizing his interest in art, sculpture, architecture, and humanities, his father admitted him to Domenico Ghirlandaio to take art lesson at the age of only 13. Here he took lesson for only 3 years before coming to Ghirlandaio. He was already skillful in sculpture carving. Here he took lessons on paintings, architecture, and sculpture. He could beautifully draw paintings, create sculptures, and could produce accurate beauty and glamour to the stone carved stones. He could not lead his life as lavish as Leonardo da Vinci. By hard working, he earned wealth, education, experience, and fame. Okay, my dear cadets, here I like to say he had to suffer many ups and downs in his artist life that caused sorrow till the end. It was very much painful event for his lifetime. In his later years, he was not happy, but still he had great trust and confidence in his work. Like Leonardo, he also dissected human bodies to observe the growth of muscles and diaphragm in the inner part. It's also one kind of important matter. I like to repeat here, my dear cadets. He also dissected human bodies to observe the growth of muscles and the diaphragm in the inner part. Looking at his paintings or sculpture, one can easily notice his experience and knowledge about human physiology. Every organ of human being was neatly and clearly exposed in his paintings. Michelangelo liked sculpture work more than paintings, and he became famous for carving sculpture. Okay, my dear. So far, I know we know here. Michelangelo also famous for his sculpture. So we can say here he became famous for carving sculpture. He's not only sculptor, he was a great sculptor in all ages. In all times, statues were made of metal and stone. It's a, I know it's a very much laborious job. It's very much hard working and very much laborious job. Sculptor Pieter. Pieter sculptor is one of his best and extraordinary creation in the world. I repeat here, I like to repeat here, my dear cadets. Pieter's sculpture is one of his best and extraordinary creation in the world. This statue is the property of Saint Peter's Church in Rome now. This statue, David, is in the Florence Academy. It's a one kind of famous sculpture. Bond slave, dying slave is in the Louvre Museum. He was not only good at creating sculpture. Okay, my dear, he was. I I like to repeat here. He was not only good at creating sculpture, but also good at paintings. People still see wonder in the painting created by Michelangelo that is at the ceiling in Sistine Chapel in the Vatican City. That is, in his sculpture, he exposed the human physiology beauty. By his pattern of work, he changed all the earlier ideas and theories. I like to repeat here. It's a very much important things about art. That is, in his sculpture, he exposed the human physiology beautifully. By his pattern of work, he changed all the earlier ideas and theories. Okay, my dear cadets, his technique of art created a new wonder. He is the first person to create beauty and glamour equally to the youth in his created painting and sculpture of prophet and great man. This type of artistic work was splendid and contained glamour and lively. The painting depicting life being given to Adam is drawn at the ceiling of Rome's Sistine Chapel. That shows his creation of wonder with sympathy. Next, it's a wonderful painting of sculptor painted, world famous painter, sculptor Michelangelo. The fresco of Last Judgment on the altar wall of the Sistine Chapel was another wonderful creation. Okay, my dear, Michelangelo was a bachelor throughout his life. He used to lead his life like hermits. Though he was having irritating behavior in his later years, people still respected him for his talent. In the year 1564 BC, in the month of February, while completing the last phase of work at the feet of the famous Pieta, it's a Pieta is a sculpture, he fell ill. On 17th, he was strongly advised by the doctor to take rest. At the time, he thought, at the time, I repeat here, my dear cadets, at the time he thought of writing a will in full conscious. On that will, he wrote, okay, my dear, my soul is for God and my body is for the world. At the age of 89, Michelangelo took his last breath at 5 o'clock. Okay, my dear cadets, we'll go for next. Raphael. Raffaello's San Gio de Urbino, 1483 to 1520. It's a very short time. Raffaello San Gio de Urbino, 1483 to 1520. Better known simply as Raphael, was an Italian painter and architect of the High Renaissance. His work is admired for its clarity of form and case of composition and for its visual achievement of the in 1483 BC. Raphael was born at a mountainous city, Urbino, on a Good Friday at 9 p.m. His father, Giovanni Sanchez, was also a painter and culture-related person. Raphael first started learning painting from his father. At the age of 10, he was allowed to brush and paint over his father's painting. His father Giovanni sent him to Perugino, a famous painter of the time, at the age of 16. Only within 3 years, his name became known in the cultural society because of his eagerness and sincerity about painting. His major discovery was to display the layout of the subject of painting correctly. Only his painting, this type of discipline was seen. In no other painting, this could be seen. I repeat here, cadets, my dear cadets, only in his painting this type of discipline was seen. In no other painting this could be seen. Raphael was an extremely handsome person. His behavior was also gentle, polite, decent, and he was helpful to others. Anyone who came in touch with him used to become happy. In his youth, he got both fame and wealth. But fame or wealth could not influence his character. Raphael and Leonardo, both the artists were very curious in nature because they are very much great artists. One used to do research in discovering the mysteries of the world, while while Raphael was careful in finding the truth. At the time of Renaissance, Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Raphael, these three great artists used to paint by following the scientific perspective. They brought the new dimension in painting by using the light and shadow. But dear cadets, it's a very much important dialogue or thing. Uh, I like to repeat here. At the time of Renaissance, Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Raphael, these three great artists used to paint by following the scientific perspective. Okay, my dear, they brought a new dimension in painting by using the light and shadow. Okay, my dear. Among his famous paintings, the painting titled Madonna is a wonderful creation of beauty. There was a good story about Raphael's hermit's life. Okay. When Raphael was very famous in Rome, his opponent hired a killer to assassinate him, and at the time, keeping the door open, he was creating die sculpture of the mother statue. After seeing the artwork, both killers forgot their mission. According to his usual gentle and polite behavior, he tried to explain the artwork to them. Influenced by his behavior, he, the killers admitted their crime and asked for forgiveness and then left. Okay, my dear. Next is only at the age of 37, this great artist who was born on a Good Friday died. Okay, my dear, thanks, my dear. Next is question pattern. Question pattern is start now. Uh, First question is number one. When was the Michelangelo born? Answer is here. Michelangelo was born on 6th March in 1475 BC. When did Michelangelo die? Answer is he died on 17th of February of 1564 BC. Question number 3. When was the Raphael born? Answer is here. Raphael was born on 1483 BC. Question number 4. What was the sculpture Michelangelo world famous sculpture? Answer is here. La Pieta was the world famous sculpture of Michelangelo. Question number 5. Which artist was equally good at fine arts painting and sculpture? Answer is here. Michelangelo was equally good at fine arts painting and sculpture. Question pattern is session is over, my dear cadets. Home task. Task is here. Okay, my dear. Write 10 sentences about Raphael's behavior and nature. I repeat here. Write 10 sentences about Raphael's behavior and nature. Next lesson is chapter 4, different medium of drawing picture. Okay, my dear beloved cadets, I hope all of you have understand the lesson and got my points. So now I like to conclude here. Again, I do repeat here, please keep yourself confined your residence. It will positive protect you from corona menace. Okay, thanks everybody. Thank you all the very best.